Hi, this is Julie Moffett with Movement Mortgage, and I'm here with my friend Marjorie Engel with Realty One Group Elevations. And we were just planning an estate planning class together and going over all the details. And one of those details is title vesting and how that is important. Marjorie has a great story for us of how that, how it becomes important later on in life and how you can help make that process a little bit more smooth.
So I was telling her about a client that I recently had, and her and her husband purchased a home and title was done incorrectly. So when we went to go sell her home, unfortunately her husband had passed and she ended up having to go through probate. So we were talking about the types of tenancy and why it's so important to make sure that it's done correctly in the beginning so that you don't have to go through probate if someone you love does pass.
And a lot of times it's really something that's brushed over and people don't really tell you exactly why it's important later in life. No one likes to talk about death and taxes, right? But it is really important to get that vesting correctly. And what vesting means is vesting is just how you're taking ownership of that property. So those three main types of vesting are sole ownership or in severalty. There's also joint tenants and tenants in common. So Marjorie, what's sole ownership?
So sole ownership is basically when one person is in title only. Tenants in common is going to be when there's two people in title, whether they're married or not, you can be joint tenants. But it basically is stating that if you pass, you're leaving the property to the other person in title. That's most common. And then there is tenants in common, which is basically two people in title, and when one passes, it goes to their estate.
Okay. So and that can come up either in an owner-occupied home, or it can come up maybe like in a vacation home situation where you have multiple couples or, or two or three different people kind of combining their funds to buy the house together, right?
100%. Another issue that I've seen is when people don't know what type of vesting they need, but they have refinanced or purchased a home. The deed was not prepared correctly because if it doesn't specify joint tenants on the deed, they're automatically tenants in common.
And that might not be what they want in the end.
Exactly. And I've seen it to where, they go to sell their house. They thought they were in title as joint tenants, but when they go to sell, they find out they were in title as tenants in common. They go through probate, and then other family comes in and ends up getting half of their property.
Wow. And so so this is what I don't know. Okay. Why would you alter it?
So very stupid reasons. So when you're buying a property, if it's a warranty deed, then obviously the title company can just leave it off by mistake. Two, you prepare a quitclaim deed, so you refinance your house. You're in title with your middle names when you bought the house, but then your lender refinances you. And when he puts in your loan application, he doesn't include your middle name.
Okay.
So the title company prepares a quitclaim deed right before closing to remove your middle initial or remove your middle name.
Okay.
And then they go to record it. They forget to add title because it's just a quitclaim deed.
Oh, okay.
Or to add vesting.
So does it have to match your will?
No.
In theory? Okay, it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah. Your vesting doesn't have to match your will, but your vesting has to match, your name. Your title has to match the deed of trust.
So at any time you can just, if you ever notice that there's a problem, you can go to a title company and request they do a quitclaim deed to make everything match the way you want it to.
Yeah, you can actually request a copy of your deed from the county. So from the county clerk and recorder, and then make sure that it does indicate vesting. So it will say as tenants in common or as joint tenants, either of those. Unless you're entitled by yourself, then it'll be in severalty.
I feel like I need to go to the website and check all of that now.
Yes, so you can check. And then if it's not done correctly, you can contact your local realtor and they'll get in contact with their title company and get it prepared.
Well, this has been a lot of information to digest. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either one of us and we are both happy to help.